What's going on, people? It's Mr. back again for the review. As you know, it ended Derby County 1, Nottingham Forest 1, and I've got a special guest. I've got Matthew, who went to the game. How are you doing, Matt?
Very well, thanks. Thanks for the tickets, Mr. Dore.
It wasn't me. It wasn't me.
Oh, still, contacts.
And we got Glenn. How you doing, Glenn?
Very well, Dore. I did say last time, I wish I hadn't, I'm glad I didn't do the 300-mile round trip. On this occasion, I really should have done that. Although we had a really great day. I was in London with the London Trickies. We watched it together. It was a group of us. It was fantastic.
Oh, okay. And as well, we've got someone from Australia coming on called Anthony. So he'll be here any minute. Now, is here now? I think here he is. Hello, Anthony.
Morning, sorry.
Are you just woke up?
What's that?
Have you just woke up?
Yeah.
Oh my! Right, as everybody, Anthony, he's from Australia, so that's why he looks half asleep.
Is he really? I thought it was a wind-up. I thought it was giving the impression of being a global channel when it wasn't really. He was in the next room. He is actually from Australia.
Yeah, I live just north of Sydney. I'm from New Zealand.
I was going to say, the accent wasn't entirely convincing, Bruce. But there you go.
Right, so people give some love to Anthony. He's from he is a DoreOnTour for fans. So, but it's back to today's game, and it ended like Derby 1, Forest 1. We're going to get Matthew's view from the game today. So, Matthew, how do you think the game went on today?
Oh well, the first half was a stinker, wasn't it? I think, and the second half they came out a lot better. And at the end of the day, we deserved a draw, didn't we? Really, I think. In summary, it was the typical fare, and not a lot of chances. They're not very good. We're not very good. 1-1. Everyone's happy.
I'm happy with the result. Are you happy with the same result, Glenn?
I am. Yeah, game of two halves, very much, wasn't it? First half, like Matt said, we really weren't in it. It took us a long time to get stuck in. They obviously done their homework and saw that our fullbacks were arguably the weaker areas and the things that we were really struggling with initially. Although Gabriel, I thought, had a great second half actually compared to Bong. But yeah, much better second half, particularly when we changed it around a bit. I think now, and I'm not sure whether that was major influence was Lawrence going off, or that was also the time when we moved it around and brought Taylor and Grabban on together. And I think we looked a lot stronger in that second half and well worth a point.
Anthony, like what time is it in Australia now?
6:06.
Bloody hell! What time is it playing then?
What's that? No, so the game kicked off here about 9:30 p.m. and went till about 11:30. Then I played Skyrim until 11:30. So I had 5 hours sleep. I enjoyed the game. It was my first time seeing it. The streaming service was excellent. I thought we should have been up 1-0, and then I thought we were lucky not to be down 3-0. 2 pretty reasonable penalty shouts. I looked on Twitter just to have a look, and I saw old Bong gets a lot of abuse. I don't think he was really responsible for that first goal.
Second half, to be fair, he wasn't bad.
He was good.
He was good. So
the balls he was doing, I thought, were the right ones to do. They weren't always executed well, and he seemed to be trying to calm things down. But it took me ages to realise Cavalier had gone off. I couldn't really remember.
He's like that. That's what a lot of people say.
Right, I'm going to talk about Cavalier later on, so don't get me started about Cavalier. I've had enough with Cavalier. I
was hoping to see that Lyle Taylor lob in the first half, or he could have done a square ball and it would have been a good one too. But he puts in a big shift. I couldn't remember because I don't see the games very often. He did a truckload of running. And then Grabban looked quite controlled when he came on. This is the first time I've ever realised Bruce Sanders left-handed.
Some people say he's got 2 left hands, don't they? Especially recently. No, I thought he was good. He was good. I'm a Samba fan.
But for the goal, we lost it up the other end. They did a pretty good ball through. Joe Worrell played him onside and just jogged back. And then
Was it Joe Worrell? I thought it was Bong.
It was. No,
Worrell
was to blame.
Worrell was
He-
in the
He
centre.
held him on side, and then you turned around and jogged back, and everyone said, "Oh, I hope Bong can get to it," but he couldn't, and then he got beat near post. So
Because all I seen when everyone was giving abuse to Bong, like, oh, Bong playing him on side, and blah blah blah. So I didn't know it was Worrell.
about 2 meters, wasn't it? It was a long way.
Quite comfortably.
Oh,
They
yeah,
didn't get the lines out, but it was far enough, wasn't it?
So people who gave Bong abuse in the first half, you should apologise because you was absolutely foul mouthing him.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
I think
but
if you don't like Bong, that's what you would have seen.
why can't we all just get a bong? No, no, but it was interesting when I think our first chance, Brennan dragged that one wide against Curtis Davis, and my son was saying to me, that's what Bong should have done. He should have stood him up, pushed him wide. You're never going to score from there. Whereas Bong didn't get close to him. You know, he let him go. I mean, he probably couldn't, to be fair, but that's what he had to do, and it's more than enough. So yeah, I think Bong was to blame too. But it was, if he'd been offside, he wouldn't have had to run about and play football, would he?
He was pushing up, trying to score at the other end, wasn't he?
I don't know what he's trying to do. He was good in the second half, I'd say that. You know, the first half, you know, he's an old guy, give him a break. But in the first half, he wasn't very good, which is his usual. But the second half, he played well. Yeah, give him credit where it's due. And I thought Gabriel as well did okay.
Yeah, you know what? I was about to say that to you, Matthew, about like Gabriel. I thought he wasn't bad today. All the stick that he's had in the past couple of games, but Gabriel wasn't bad today, was it, Matt?
Yeah.
Well, he was good. He was good defensively. He was good enough, solid enough defensively. He had a lot of space in the first half. In the second half, he's miles on the other side of the pitch, so it's a little bit hard to tell. It didn't look very big from where we were. But in the first half, he had lots of space and he didn't really take the initiative. But, you know, you can't, yeah, he defended well enough. So let's just, you know, bank that and be happy with that.
From what we saw, Matt, he was under a lot of pressure, actually, although Worrell in the post-match said he was he's the man of the match.
He said Gabriel was, yeah. No, he did all right. He did all right, yeah.
Shout out to Rebel Cheer. I think I spoke to the guy on the train station who was talking about quite a lot of things about Hooton and blah blah blah. So what? Shout out to who? Yeah, but all right, Glenn. What we mentioned, Gabriel. What other players that stood up for you today in today's game?
McKenna Worrell, great partnership again. Really missed them, haven't we? You know, those two working together there. I thought it's really good to see Brennan, particularly the second half, being a bit more on the ball. I thought Zinchenko had that first shot. I thought we might actually get something from that. I don't know whether the stamp from Forsyth might have made difference to the way he played the rest of the game or not. We'll wait and see. Interesting to see. I don't know if we've heard anything about a ban from Forsyth or not. I think that's
what are you on about, Forsyth? I'm lost.
Forsyth
jumped on his testicles.
And
he punctured his left
testicle. Jumped up midfield on the far side, opposite side to the dugout.
Yeah.
Zinchenko landed on the ground, sort of fell to the side. Forsyth then came down afterwards and stamped on his right leg.
I've not seen that. Wait, let me see.
Yeah. You know, it's when they wouldn't kick the ball out.
I've not seen that. Someone tagged me on Twitter, whatever. I've not seen it.
Yeah, about 20 minutes or so, 25 minutes or
so. Anthony, what players stood up for you today?
I liked our number 11. He was everywhere. He did. Maybe I just like his name. I'd practiced saying it all last night, so I could say it now, and now I can't remember it.
Zinchenko.
Zinchenko.
Excellent. He just everywhere. Lyle Taylor.
Just call him Zink.
Zigzino.
I think it was towards the end before we scored. Lyle Taylor put it through for Brennan, and I think he played it to where he would like it rather than where Brennan was pointing. I think another couple of yards on, he would have been round, but I was pleased to see him get the goal. I don't know why. I mean, I like our Scottish man at the back, but I don't know why with 2 minutes to go and extra time, you're wrestling the opposition player to the ground in the penalty box during a corner.
Who was that, McKenna?
Yeah.
I couldn't see from that. I couldn't see what was happening. I
saw you at the ground. They zoomed in on all the good-looking ones, and you were in it. So nice.
Was it me?
It was Max. Max was on TV.
I know Max was on. Max
yeah, I'm
was
sorry.
TV.
I don't think they got down to Dore. I think they started with the good-looking ones. They got down.
Matt, you was next to me. You was next to me.
I could have attracted the camera and you could have got on the side, but unfortunately not. Never mind.
Yeah. Right. So we say what
Gardner
player
did some nice stuff too. I thought.
Who's that?
Gardner.
Yeah, got it. It was all right. I don't think
he played better, didn't he? He got better.
Yeah, he got better throughout the game.
Yeah.
But he played. I think he played much better when Ryan Yates went off. I'm not going to criticize Yates because he's had too much. Matt, don't even stop. I know you're going to criticize Yates. Don't even. Don't even stop.
If you just turned on and were watching part of the second half, you wouldn't have thought we were down 1-0.
What players didn't play well for you, Matt, today?
I thought you said not to mention Yates.
I know,
Sometimes less is more, and
no, just say it. What player Ryan Yates? I like Ryan Yates. He gets too much stick, but I think today
I like Ryan Yates as a person. I think he's a lovely bloke, but football, not so much, sort of thing. So I don't know. He didn't do much today. If you watch the game, he kind of followed it around and watched it. He had the best seat in the house as far as I could see. But we did a lot. But it's hard when you're carrying a player who isn't contributing much either end of the pitch, as far as I'm concerned. So he shouldn't be. He should be playing 5 or 6 games a season. I think he'd probably be happy with that because that's really, to me, his kind of level. And there's players who aren't playing, who should be getting the occasional chance to prove what they can do. But I don't.
Yeah, I mentioned Carvalho today, and he got subbed off second half. But I think didn't he have one chance in the first half? Was it the first 5 minutes?
Left-hand side of the box, wasn't it? That
yeah, and after that, I didn't see him. I didn't really see him as well. And I thought, you know what, it was a good choice for him going off. Like, Glenn, I don't know, are you a Carvalho fan?
I am, actually. I think today's game was a lot more open than what we've had before, and I think that's the ideal situation for him. He plays better when it's an open game. If anything, he'd play better if it was a Premiership sort of situation where he'd have a lot more space. That shot, it was probably 35 yards out wide left, wasn't it? And he tried to curl a ball in. That's all I saw. And like you were saying, Bruce, it's sorry, the name was.
No, Bruce. Let's not get confused, Bruce. Yeah.
I
was not there when he was taken off, so I sat for the next 5-10 minutes or so, expecting to see him, and wasn't surprised when someone had said next to me that he'd already been subbed out.
He gets blamed for not having much influence when he's not on the pitch, even. Yeah. That's the problem. He's hardly played.
I think he got a little bit lost in there today. On the Ryan Yates point as well, I think him and Zinchenko just got in each other's way. They were in each other's way. They were in each other's space. Neither of them were communicating particularly well, and most of the time, Zinchenko was just pushing him off and going past and actually playing a forward ball, which was really positive. That's what we want to do. Carvalho, I am a fan. I understand why lots of the fans are cheering for him and stinging for him when he's not on the field. But today, I think was an ideal situation for him to really shine. I don't know if he did.
Anthony, are you a Carvalho fan? Like, so everyone's got their opinions about him, but what's your opinion on Carvalho?
I quite like it because I haven't seen many of the games like you guys have, but I've always quite liked him. I thought today was one of those games. The first 10 minutes was spent kicking each other, and I think he just got the shits with that. He said, "Oh, this is killing me." I think it would have been good to see him curl that one in. It would have been great for his confidence. He was doing a lot of running, and he was getting kicked in the back and not, I thought the rep, when he did the play on, to see what would happen, we didn't really get much of an advantage and probably would have been better with a lot of those getting the free kick straight away. But, the rep, I don't think the rep had a bad game. Mike didn't seem as fast as I was expecting when he came on. He had a couple down the left, and I thought he should have been going a bit faster, but I don't know.
You know what? That's a good point.
Wasn't it?
Yeah, that's a good point. I think he should have passed it more. But I think there was one chance. I think in the second half, I think it was Ziganelli. He was open, and I don't know if you've seen it, Matt. He was open, and I think he gave the ball away. I think it was, but I thought we got a corner.
Who's this who gave the ball away?
Myton.
Myton. Yeah, there was a few times we were kind of. He did. He stops and starts again.
Yeah,
he stops before he goes. Where he just needs to just go, just press 10 and or 11 and just go. You know,
it's letting the guys catch up to him, wasn't he?
Yeah, I think he's not comfortable at this level. Yeah, personally, I think he needs to be given a run of games, same as with Carvalho. It's like if you have a luxury car in the garage, you've got to take it out and keep using it, else it doesn't go as well when you take it out on the odd occasion, you know. And I think it's the same with those guys. You've got to give them a run of games. You've got to let them get, you know, a feel for what it's like playing at that level. And they haven't done much of it. I personally think the Carvalho we saw way back in the midst of time, 3 years ago, where he was top of all the stats when he was played every week by Karanka. You won't get that unless you play him every week. And I think the version now is actually much better version of Carvalho, even though he was rubbish in the Spanish second division and all that stuff. He's what we need. And if not him, we need to get what he can do from somewhere, don't we? Because it's absolute crap without any kind of creativity. Yeah. I mean, Jesus Christ, how bad does it have to get before people want a bit of Carvalho crack? You know, you're absolutely crying out for it. It's like, you know, something like that we're desperate for. There's nothing.
There's 72 people in here. If you've got any questions for the panel, put them down. Glenn, I was about to ask you about Samba. There's a question about Samba. Will Howard get another chance, or did he perform against Wolves, or you guys despite Samba's performance? Do you think Samba was good today, Glenn?
I think, having watched Horace at Wolves in the week, I was sat right behind his goal in the Trent End on Wednesday. What is it? Tuesday night. Yeah. And shot stop wise, we should have been 2-0 down after 10 minutes, and he kept us in the game for the hour until we eventually then, you know, bow to the pressure. Whether he would have saved that low to the left Lawrence goal today or not is obviously to be. You know, you can't really turn the time back and say. I was disappointed when he wasn't on the team sheet today. I thought Harvard would have had a really good crack at it today. Whether it was just a big event for him not to, you know, to come straight into having played to 10,000 on Tuesday night. I think he was well worth a punt today. I think he was unlucky not to be involved. I personally would have put him in. I think it would have made a big difference to the way we'd set ourselves up. He really impressed me on Tuesday night, actually. Really impressed me.
Anthony, as you know, Houghton is in basically in trouble. How do you feel about Houghton getting a sack? Do you think Forest needs to do a change, or are you happy with Houghton?
Well, I like Houghton, but I've liked most of our managers, and when they have a bad run, they seem to go. I don't know who would get to replace him either. Ange Postecoglou's going all right at Celtic. Being half Australian, it'd be nice.
I don't want him. I don't. I think he's useless at Celtic. I think he's useless.
We got Australia to the World Cup. That was quite a good effort.
I'm not. No. No. What about you? I know Matt has an opinion on Houghton quite a lot this week on a group chat. Come on, tell everyone what's your opinion?
What do you want a manager to do? You want him to pick the right players. You want him to motivate them. You want him to make them all play to their maximum potential, whatever it takes. What would you give him any marks out of 100 in any of those categories for, really? I mean, I'm struggling, aren't you? You can't tell me who's playing anywhere near their potential. There's everyone's below their potential, aren't they? And this is the same if you go back since the day he was appointed. Not that they all played brilliantly under Sabri either, but he's had absolutely zero impact, I think, on the players. Motivation, and team selection,
So maybe he's picking the teams based on how well they're doing training that week. And if they have an awesome training session and then they don't get picked, they'll be down. You put them all out there together and they just fall apart. I don't know.
I'd love to see the training videos because I tell you what, all the reports I hear, you know, like Carvalho's brilliant in training and he always was and stuff, but he never gets picked. All this training thing, oh yes, he sees them in training. It's like, yeah, we see them at the weekend. You know, he should be the expert. He has the advantage. How can he still get it so wrong? How can we know within 3 games and everything for the next 80 games prove what you know within 3 games and him still not see it? It takes a special gift, doesn't it? You know, he thinks his job, the 3 things I mentioned, he didn't mention. His job is putting on a brave face, he said this week. You know, it's not putting on a brave face, it's getting results. It's making the football team play, isn't it?
I was quite excited when I saw the lineup.
Sorry, Anthony. Right, before this belling match day with Max, he's absolutely belling. He's come on the channel yet again.
Yeah,
I will talk about that later.
He was on Sky earlier, so
yeah, he's not relevant.
Yeah.
That's what
I don't know whether I mentioned that.
Yeah. Wait, Anthony, do you know who Match Day Max is? Do you know who he is?
No.
No, that's pretty damning. He hasn't reached Australia yet.
I know who Lisa is.
He's not big in Oz.
Lisa Fox.
Lisa the Derby girl.
Who's that?
Oh dear.
Lisa from Derby turns up.
Oh, Lisa. Oh, that Lisa.
Yes, Max.
I met her today. She's a fantastic. She's on my vlog. People, it's at 10 o'clock tomorrow, so you'll see her tomorrow. Back to
when you
game.
saw the lineup, then I was quite excited by it. I thought, oh, we've made a few changes by the look of things.
How many changes was it made? There was made. I think there was
4 or 5.
Well,
and the other thing that the commentator said was we haven't lost 5 in a row since 1954. So I don't know if we were trying to beat that record or not.
He's a record-breaking manager, yeah. We were celebrating when we got 2 corners and a missed kick in the first 10 minutes. We thought this is going to be like Kevin Keegan football for a change. Yeah, right.
Oh, you went to the ground, so you can probably see.
Oh,
I
yeah,
could only see what the cameras. So I could only see
Yeah.
what the cameras was showing me. So
Oh, yeah.
the stomping
Standing in the way for half the game.
with that stomping, they only showed it in slow mo in the replay, so it looked a lot worse. I'd like to have seen it again in real time because initially I didn't notice much, but I was wondering.
Yeah, well,
why
that's
it's grabbing.
best if you do that in private later. If you're that interested.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
I had to go and I sat cross-legged watching that replay. It was pretty painful looking.
The old didgeridoo was playing up there.
Right, well, I've lost now. Right, Matt, I've lost now. Matt, like this is the thing, right? I speak to a Derby fan walking back, and do you really think Derby were good today?
No, it was like 2 tramps fighting over a chip, wasn't it? That's what someone said to me, and I think that's a fair analysis. No, I spoke to a couple, and they were quite pleased. They thought, "Oh, that's the best we've played all year." And actually, to be fair, you could almost argue out of Houghton's teams rather than Andy Reid's on loan League Cup teams, it was reasonable. I don't think anyone played particularly well or anyone played particularly badly. We were kind of okay, and credit to the players for coming back in the second half. So we did all right, but God, you know, it was bad. It wasn't like, oh, now Houghton's proved his doubters wrong after that. Yeah. I mean, good grief, you know, you score a goal. The goalkeeper, how did he let it in? It was a gift. It was a gift. I'm sure they said, keep Houghton in the job. A few more games and the relegation will be sealed. You know, let a goal in one way or another, sort of thing. You know, it was a pure gift.
But he did a great job stopping Graben's back heel.
I haven't got to review that yet. No.
You're not seeing it yet, Matt.
That was off the line.
No, was it?
Saved that.
Yeah, but I think was it. I think
it was soft though, wasn't it?
No, Bong crossed it in.
Yeah.
Bong
And he
crossed
did
it in.
it back heel, didn't he?
Yeah, and back heeled it. It wasn't that hard. It was a soft one, but it was a good. Like, again, Bong
try, clever. Yeah,
Bong again.
He had his moment. He had a couple of crosses the second half. He was a changed man.
Yeah, that cross in the second I thought was pretty good too.
But look, we're getting excited about a couple of crosses, Jinky. You know, I mean, what's it come down to? We are going to be celebrating corners. You're going to be saying, "Now, what do you think of that corner?" Isn't it? It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
This is Max.
Oh, there he is.
I have family in Sydney. We have to know. Anthony, don't even try and talk with him. He's not needed. Like he's not needed, Max. You're not needed. Right, back we go. Now that it's 2 weeks off, transfer window closes on Tuesday, and let me just ask you, Glenn. We brought in how many players? We brought in 4 players, haven't we? 4 or 5? Is it 4? I think. 5 players we brought in.
Who's counting?
I don't know. Wait, we've got left back, Ziganinin, Gardner, the right back. That's it. The goalkeeper. Like, what players do we need to bring in? Let me ask you, Glenn.
I think another forward, another straightening in the forward. I think we could potentially still go with another fullback, just cover for what we've already got. I forget the name of that made of glass Arsenal fullback that we've got. Went within this half an hour, bless him. I think cover for them. It's interesting. We've got 4 loan players. We're only allowed 5. Is that right?
Yeah.
So whoever we bring in another couple. It was really interesting. I wrote a few notes about what Houghton said in his post match, and I've got a note here.
Go on.
Busy. It says busy enough. I don't know what that means. Whether we'll be busy between now and Tuesday at 11 p.m, whatever the deadline time is. I don't know what busy enough means.
Tuesday.
I think Tuesday at 11 p.m, isn't it? I think a forward at least, maybe another midfield player of some sort, maybe a winger of some sort, and another fullback. But how many of those come in on loan? How many we're allowed to have on loan? Certainly at least one more.
What about you, Matt? I know that I said the players we've linked with. I know, I'll talk about the players leaving, but what players would you want to bring in?
I think personally, as Forest fans, we're just obsessed. We're just being totally mesmerised by the idea we can constantly make signings. It's like people think sack the manager all the time. Oh no, give him time, give him time. I would say let's also apply the same logic to the players now and again and give them time. There's so many players we've signed, with fireworks and fanfares, and they barely play 5 games. It's ridiculous. Like the left back, we got a left back who was decent. He was a world beater after about 3 games. He gets sent off, and that's it. He's sent to Coventry. And, the same thing again and again. I personally think the whole issue is using what you have as much as anything. And I think anyone that we might sign probably isn't as good as what we've got, which is the basic first logic of transfers. You make the most of what you've got. You give the kids an opportunity. You put as many of your kids in as you can, because you're going to be selling them 1 a year minimum. So if you put 3 in, you might get to keep 2 of them. And then you get loans to fill in the gaps, not paper over the whole job. And you only sign players that are definitely better than what you've got and will be picked every week. So if you sign a Carvalho, you pick him every week. If he's going to be the biggest, if you buy a Harry Arter, you don't sack him off to Charlton if he parks in the parking space. You can't afford that kind of stuff, especially if you're the one that picks, the wrong players and doesn't get them to play properly every week. On top of that, you get your big boy pants on, and I don't know, have a plan. I can't see the plan with any of it. And it's always like, we'll sign someone else. Realistically, we're not going to sign players better than what we've got. We think they will be. Give them 5 games, and we'll think they're rubbish.
What I was mentioning, what players would you go? Let me ask you, Anthony. I know you've not seen much games, but what players would you get rid of Forest?
The ones that started yesterday, I was reasonably happy. I'd like to swap the goalie around just to keep Brees on his toes. He's been a good player for us. I was thinking that it was time for Graben, but he looked quite skillful when he came on. He did a bit of chasing back, and I think he stopped one near the line with a couple to go.
Yeah, I think
I was good to see. Then other times he didn't look quite so interested. Being playing a striker, that's what you do, though. You're only interested in the 80% chances, aren't you?
You play possum for the rest of the time.
you just look disinterested. There's no point because the striker and the sweeper are exactly the same position. It's just the way you're facing, isn't it? That's what I found. I think our back three looked quite good. You know, the three rotates. Figueiredo seems to be back in people's good books. I mean, he copped abuse for ages, didn't he? But I was quite like, I thought he was getting homesick, and we would.
That's the thing. Figueiredo. What I heard, Figueiredo was in homesick. I think he had a new baby and he wanted to go back, and Forest just didn't get rid of him. So I don't get that at all.
I think they did. They basically. I think the thing was he was trapped like a lot of people with COVID. Like Silva was trapped over there, and he was trapped over here, and his baby was trapped somewhere else. And I think they basically said, you know, bye-bye. No one knew Figs existed, if you remember, until like the eve of the first game of the season.
Yeah.
It was like he was missing. He was like they were doing documentary series about where's Figs, you know, sort of thing. It's like this is the case of missing Figs. It's like find this defender kind of thing. And then all of a sudden, he's back. We might be selling our centre half. You know, the young one's hurt himself. And, you know, Heffler's left the building and so forth. And suddenly we need him. And then he's chucked in. Personally, I think Figs is one of our best. You know, to be fair, they're all good. So I don't want to damn the others by saying he's good. But he's an excellent defender at this level. And he works best, like most players do, in a team that makes sense. He's absolutely fine. I've never seen him play badly in a team that's working, that makes sense. You put a load of crap midfielders in front of him, the game's all open and everyone's flying all over the place. Yeah, he's going to make mistakes. What do you think? You know, what do you expect? You know, that's what happens. If not, you might as well not bother with with any midfielders or fullbacks or anything like that, and just pick two good centre halves and just have, you know, 8 attackers on the pitch if it's that easy. But it's not like that, is it?
What players would you get rid of, Glenn? Like I said, we've got how many centre backs? We've got 4 centre backs, haven't we? We've got Worrell, Jenkins,
Mbiso.
Yeah,
Jenkinson. Don't mention Jenkinson.
Why?
Why Jenkinson? You know, he's played for England, and we've told him, we don't need you. And it's like, okay, I'm pleased. Like, Back's come in, and he's been a major plus. He's an excellent find, which is great. You've got a guy who you wouldn't even imagine necessarily would play for under 23s every game, and all of a sudden, he's a star in the making, and that's brilliant. You know, how much is that worth? That's worth.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised he wasn't even on a bench, Matt, today.
I think he was on the bench, wasn't he?
No, he wasn't.
No, he wasn't.
I don't. He worked so hard Tuesday night, Dor.
He did.
That's
why I didn't get why he was on the bench. I know we had what's his name?
His dad was there watching today.
Who?
His dad was there. He would have been disappointed.
Yeah, he was in.
He didn't go and deal with Houghton. He probably would sort it out. Yeah, make him the manager. He probably knows a bit about sport.
Oh, dude. So there's 86 people in. Wow, that's amazing. But yeah, 86 people in. If you want to answer any questions, put them below. And if you are new to the channel, please do hit the subscribe button as well. The question is, like, there's 2 weeks too, and everyone's to talk about Houghton bringing players in, blah, blah, blah. But again, there's a question for you, Matt. I know, like, you've been really vocal about him on social media, and
I'm trying to be positive this year.
I'm trying to be positive. Like,
I'm trying to be positive. I'm trying to be more positive than him. God.
I'm trying to be positive as much as I can. Like, I don't know. I spoke to I'm not going to say I spoke to an ex-Forest player today. I don't know if throw him under the bus, and
they said they're all crap, didn't they?
Yeah, he said they're all crap. But I don't know what
I don't think we're lacking in quality at all. I think they look crap, but you know. You can make good players look bad very easily. A good manager makes bad players look adequate, and half decent players look brilliant. You know, Forest should know that. Look, we had absolute. You know, when you get a good manager, you can do amazing things with players. You know, it's easy to blame the players. Personally, Matt, I think.
Matt, there's a question for you, Matt. We still got to get rid of Mr. Dore. Don't tell Matt though.
No, who's that saying that? No, I mean, they well, you know, like I say, Colback played in the Premier League. Not many of those guys were playing. He was a teenager. He was a little baby who was playing the Premier League. He's the first name you put on. You have a base then to build a team. Then Figueiredo can play like Figueiredo can play. And then you can put a kid next to him, and it will still work if you have a good player in front of him. I think a lot of players suffer from that. They say, too negative. So you lump Yates and Colback together. And I agree. I wouldn't pick both of them. Sure, if everyone else is injured, pick Yates. But don't pick Yates, Cafu and Colback, because none of them are going to work. You're not doing any of them any favours. So there's the best way to use every player. And if you're a manager, not every player is a Ronaldo and a Messi, but the skill is to get the most out of the best players and the most out of the worst players and get the most out of the sum of the whole, isn't it? That's the whole point, And if you have a McGovern and he doesn't seem very good and very skillful and he just does the dirty work, of course you need one of those players. But the point is you get John Robertson to play and do whatever the hell he wants, and that's the benefit. That's the trade-off, isn't it? And there's no trade-off. Everyone loses in this system.
So do you see Colback as the natural replacement for the missing Ben Watson from a couple of years ago when we looked really good?
Well, yeah. I mean, I think when he used to play with good players around him, it worked fine, didn't it? You go back and watch the videos if you want to be entertained. Watch him scoring 2 goals against Leeds and all that kind of stuff when he's playing with Gejura, when he was, his dad would tear his hair out when he was playing with Ben Watson, which he did do a few times. But again, see, that's wrong. And Watson was awful one year and then brilliant the next. But you need one of those guys. So, yes, it was Watson and he did brilliantly. The previous year is rubbish. And this year we could have put Colback in that place or another, just someone who can do the job, doing that job and letting others play. But not 3 of them, so no one can play. That's the point, isn't it, really? That's the point. That's why you need some guys with flair and some guys who just do the dirty work. It's kind of obvious. If you just have guys that can just do the dirty work, there's no flair, no goals. How easy does it have to be?
Matt, I watched Colback and Garner play for an hour together on Tuesday night, and Colback was nowhere.
But what position was he playing? Yeah, but what position were both of them playing?
I'm getting my popcorn out.
No, but what position were both of them playing? They were playing advanced roles in front of Forner. Forner was doing the holding role, and Forner's brilliant. Okay, if we can't have Colback, if we can't have the proven Rolls Royce, have the one that's the new one, the sort of the electric version of the Rolls Royce, which is Forner, and he's absolute different class. He how many times he touched the ball more than the midfielders ever touched the ball for Forest or something on his debut? A kid. Yeah. He was going backwards, forwards, sideways, all over the place.
Colback was
His head was spinning around.
He was running side to side.
Yeah,
he didn't see.
He couldn't do anything.
He was in an ideal position, and I can't remember the lad who played left back last on Tuesday.
Richardson. Yeah,
didn't give him the ball. He just played it square. Didn't even play him in. He was just running.
Who are we saying? Colback didn't give him the ball.
Colback was he was nowhere, unfortunately.
Cross for one cross on
and then he was
his own level.
He was just running with his shoulders hunched, like he was either pissed off the fact that he didn't get the ball, or he was just exhausted. He just ran side to side.
Yeah, but the point is, the manager picks the players, he motivates the players. What they've done with Colback is disgraceful. If you remember last year, he was captain of the team. They dropped him for the Derby game. Can you remember that?
Yeah.
What kind of mentalist does that?
Yeah.
What kind of thinking is that? You have Michael Dawson. He's a inverted commas legend for the club. You don't put him on in a meaningless game at the end of last season. You're playing people like Freeman, Knockhart. It's a little old boys club. The manager has a little old boys club for his old Brighton friends, and that's all it is. Glenn Murray, here you go, Glenn. You come on for 10 minutes. You're a Forest legend, Glenn. Fair enough. I'd put Glenn Murray on as well. But tell you what, Glenn, get on the telly and say nice things about me. Keep me in the job for a few more weeks. It's ridiculous.
People,
you have Anthony Knockhart next week.
People, if you agree or disagree with Matt, put in the comments below because I'm just listening. I'm listening to what I'm just listening.
I gave Houghton every opportunity. I don't think he's done one thing right. I keep waiting. I want to hear one thing. The captaincy is a joke. You know.
Right. Let me play it. People in the comments. I was just reading a comment. Like, are you a Colback fan? What Matt says, because I'm seeing as Matt likes Colback, Glenn doesn't.
Does Glenn like?
I don't like him. To be fair. I just said he didn't really offer us anything at all on Tuesday.
But he was playing advanced role, and so was Garner, and it's not Garner.
Matt knows. I'm a bit iffy about Colback. When Colback came to the Forest, I was like, I wasn't a fan because of like his second spell with Forest. The 15 bookings, I thought.
Yeah, but there's bookings and there's bookings. Like Garner got a booking today. That's what you have to do in that job. He just took a booking today. You have to. It's not. If you have to take bookings if you're the holding midfielder now and again. And a good player he never gets sent off, but he takes his bookings. Of course, that's part of it. That's why you need a Ryan Yates to come in when he's got suspended eventually. Yeah, that's part of the job.
Yeah. So either the player gets past or the ball, but not both, isn't it?
That's it. Yeah, that's smart football. You need to do that. And you didn't like him because you believed he wanted 45 grand a week, whereas I knew he desperately wanted to play for this football club. And the way he's been treated, and the way, to be honest, 90% of the players in that dressing room have been treated. That's what you get is what's on the pitch. There's you cannot have unhappy players who don't buy into the whole philosophy of the club and the way things are done and the tactics. It's just all wrong, isn't it? And you can see no one's playing well, no one's enjoying it. Apart from the occasions where Brennan sticks the ball across and Taylor sticks in the back of the net, or Brennan scores, the goalie lets it through his legs. Brilliant. Yeah, there's the occasional moment. Yeah. But 99% of the time, it's a horrible job to do. And it shouldn't be. Playing football should be fun. It's as simple as that. If you don't enjoy it, if you don't go out there, if you don't want to go on the pitch and enjoy it, you're not going to get results ever. I don't care what anyone says.
Right, there's a question for you three can answer this as well. Like, a transfer window is closed. Do you think Worrell or Johnson will go? Let me ask you, Anthony. Do you think one of them two players will go?
No.
What do you think?
No.
How come?
Because I'm blindly optimistic. I'm not quite conspiracy theory like young Matt here, but I think
what conspiracy? I missed a conspiracy. There's no conspiracy. It's all evidential. It's all heavily documented.
You're sounding exactly like the UFO spotter I was just watching.
No, there's nothing unidentified. Just look at it. Look at it for the last year. Everyone can identify it. The only person who thinks it's a conspiracy is Chris Hughton, who's putting on a brave face. That's the only guy that's confused. He's on a different channel. That's the problem.
The sun's coming up here.
Exactly. Well, it's not coming up here. It's bloody going down, I hope, mate.
It's going down, I hope.
It's Sunday and we haven't sold them. So on Saturday.
We're not doing it on Aussie time. It doesn't close. The window closes over here.
Yeah, it's Wednesday for us, I guess, isn't it?
What about you, Glenn? Like, who do you think? Johnson, Worrell, do you think they'll go? One of them will go. I don't know if any of you seen it. The Joe Worrell interview. He was asked about he might go, he wants to stay, blah blah. So, what's your opinion?
I was really encouraged by that interview. It was 8 minutes long. He spoke really openly, really honestly. To start with, he said he wasn't planning to leave, and he was very much still a Forest player. Towards the end, he was asked again about opportunities and stuff, and he did say that if something comes up, then great. Ultimately, if you haven't seen it, he did say that, and he's probably having his coffee and his cheese and biscuits in Gunthorpe, wherever he's having his tea tonight right now. But he's still very much wanting to wear the Forest Garibaldi shirt, Garibaldi red, he said, for the rest of the season. I'm very much hopeful that that's the case. I think he offers a lot more to us based on today's performance and how he galvanises that back 5 or 6 or however many Hughton plays. I'd be upset to see Brennan go, but I don't think scoring today has hurt his market value, if you like. I think if anything, certainly helped him in that respect if he is looking to move on. I don't know whether Brentford have offered again or whether they'll eventually go with a reduced deal. I think it's a £10 million or something on the table, isn't it, at the moment? I'd be disappointed to lose, a bit like you. I'd be disappointed to lose either of them, but I think right now Brennan Johnson seems to be the more likely player to leave if we are going to have anybody sold this term.
What about you, Matt?
Well, it's not selling, is it? It's buying. That's the problem. You can sell anyone. You know, I'd like to sell Harry Arthur and get my $5 million back, but I don't think Charlton are going to cough that up. But
that's the thing. They're not paying all his wages. They're not paying all his wages.
No, they'll be paying £5,000 a week or something. You know, if that, £3,000 a week, big deal. You know, so that's no kind of solution. You know, it's no big triumph. Don't get the old bunting down and stuff. No. Will we spend the money properly? I don't know if we sell either of them. I know Forest are obsessed by buying new players. That's the solution, you know. So they're probably desperate to buy 3 players, spend, you know, 80% of the money they get, and they're desperate to sell one of those 2 because they're the only ones we've got left to sell, pretty much, apart from Alex Myson maybe. I don't know. It's not a good model to me. You keep your best players. You don't buy a load of ones you don't need. You put all your money on the pitch. We don't need kind of more players. We have too many players. We have too little now. You know, what am I missing? You know, last year we had 40 players. Now we haven't got anyone. We've had 6 decent left backs. Now we haven't got any of them.
Well, that's what disappointed me big time. Like we had 3 left backs in Knockhard, Ilono, and Ribeiro, and we didn't get a. I personally liked
Well, Blackett was the go-to. I'm sure Chris today was saying, "Where's Blackett? Let's bring Blackett on." And he's like, "Call Cincinnati," sort of thing. It's bizarre though. You think of all these players, even the ones they like, they come and go in every 5 minutes. You know what we do for the likes of Jakob, Milosevic, these kind of guys. What did they do wrong? Benalouan, you know.
Milosevic was that was a strange one.
Well, yeah, but it's not 1 or 2. There's thousands of these people, aren't there?
Christy.
You know,
so
nearly every player we buy.
Has he gone back to Fulham?
Who are we talking about?
Yeah,
he's back at Fulham. Yeah.
He's back at Fulham.
We wanted him back, but we wanted him to play for peanuts.
Yeah.
It's stupid. But you could virtually pay peanuts to keep Sammy, who's our best attacker last season, and him at right back. It's kind of a no-brainer. It's kind of simple, you know. He's getting near the end of his contract. It's not a big deal, you know. Why go and try and buy some Gambian player no one's ever heard of who's, you know, I don't know. How many of them have worked out ever, you know?
Yeah, I've seen on like there's always gossip on Twitter about Forest being linked with that players and blah blah. But I don't want I think he was linked with a winger and he scored 3 goals in 50-something appearances. Like,
yeah, how likely is he to be good? And you get someone, like say Nuno da Costa. You know, you spend 2 or 3 million on him. Just where's he?
Where's he? Has he got?
I saw him down Bridal Smithgate last week, and he thought he was going to be playing. Little did he know. But no, he's kind of flat. Maybe he's not a terrible player. We did give him a chance. There was a guy called Guerrero. Do you remember him? He was around for a few weeks. You know, and he kind of looked semi. But they come and go. I tell you what, Sudani was the guy I wish that I think was a real
game. Matt Guerrero played 1 decent game.
Yes, yeah, but those guys, I don't know. But you know, what's the point? Why keep? You'll get another guy like that. We're not going to get another. We're not going to get a Sombalonga or a Tony or a Collymore. Those are the guys you want. Save your money up. Put your money in your piggy bank. In the meantime, give games to the kid. Save up your money till Christmas. Combine your Christmas and birthday money and get a decent player. Just get one, because then you'll play every week.
Quality parents.
That's common sense, though, isn't it? You know?
It's only Christmas yet, Matt. But what the fuck you talking about?
But you know, save up your birthday. I don't know when his birthday is, but put your birthday money with your Christmas money, and in January buy a decent striker or something that is what you actually need, instead of blowing your money. You know, as soon as you get your allowance, blowing it on any player you like the look of. It's crazy, I think. You know, how many more players do we have to buy before we realise we're not very good at it? And you'd be better off just getting the most out of what you've got.
Yeah. Right. Last but not least, let's say about today's game. Everyone's rating. I'll start with you, Matt. What rating would you give out today's performance?
Today's performance, 7. It was all right. Like I say, it depends. 7 against a not very good team, and not by a very good team. The thing, my takeaway from today, the best thing about today was Brennan scoring the goal and his mum and dad being so touched by the response to it and all was perfect. Yeah. And when the ball went in the net, I made a point of looking around at them, and it was worth going to see that today. And that's what Forest is all about. And David, whatever they're Forest through and through, and he's Forest through and through, and Forest should just be Forest, and that was Forest today, and that was worth seeing.
Yeah. Before I asked you, Glenn Anthony, because Matthew's been talking loads, and that's why I've been very quiet. So that's why. Yeah. So I do apologise. It's my show, not the far. It's not the.
But you're the Ryan Yates. It would just be better without you.
Glenn, what was your rating at the play?
It's very interesting. You went straight for 7. Is that a combination of the first and second half performances, kind of averaged out over the 2?
No, I'm doing it purely on the result. It was 2 in the first half, and it was about 4 in the second half. If you're honest, really, wasn't it? If you're talking about how good we want to be to get out of this league, it's 2 and 4.
Yeah.
I'd go 7 as well. Then in that case, I think it was a fair assessment of how well we did over the space, over the 94 minutes or whatever we played.
Yeah. Last but not least, Anthony, what was your rating?
Yeah, it was the first time I've seen it. It seems that from what I've been reading, we're really good at the second half. So maybe if we only do second halves for the rest of the season, then we've also got to cut off the last couple of minutes, because we've conceded a couple right at the death where we could be, as high as 20th by now.
I think ideally we just play the 82nd minute or whatever it was where he got the goal, and then we maybe win a few games.
But I mean, Coventry, we were up 2-0 and lost 3-2.
No, that's never happened under Houston. 2 goals. What are you talking about?
We don't score 2 goals.
We don't score. We don't do 2.
We were up 1-0 and then lost
2-1.
But 2-1.
Yeah, that's 2-1. That's 2-1.
Yeah, we're all trying to forget it.
The commentators said that we'd only ever scored 1 goal this game, and we'd only been in front once, and that was Coventry.
Right. Before I go, I don't know if people have noticed. Glenn's got some pictures on the back, and the man himself, Matt, has made them.
I didn't know that until about an hour ago.
When he bought them. I didn't give them to him. He actually bought them, and he was demanding his money back.
I've asked for freebies from Matt, but he said I'm not allowed. So, but Matt,
I'm going to give it to you on loan. It's the Forest way. You're going to pay through the nose to have it for 6 months, and it might turn out to be crap. So there you are.
Yeah. Before we do go, Matt, talk about, because like I said, you've done this for quite a while now, Matt, and you, so just talk about the things you do.
Oh, well, basically the artwork was a spin-off from an app I did ages ago, which the league stole off me, which is actually Forest Fanbase. So that's how I got that account before Fanbase became a thing. So it's a product. And then did some artwork for that, and people kind of liked it. I did some more. And I actually did stuff for some of the players like Britt and Matty Cash, when I thought he came from Australia, funnily enough. And he said, can you do something for me? So, yeah, I've done a bunch of that stuff, and I'm sort of doing more for other clubs, but never Derby. That's the only, I won't do that. That's never happening. I've had a few requests for Pride Park, but that's never happening.
But like I said,
most other things.
Yeah, that's what people like. Matt, I put the link below. So if people,
thank you very much.
If people want anything from Matt, please go on the link below. Go on his Twitter as well. The Twitter's on Forest Fanbase. He does. Because I want something for my background. I need something for my background.
Yeah, all right, okay. You've payola and all that stuff. You've scratched my back enough. I'll have to give you something now, won't I? I can lead you a mile off. This is the Nottingham way, isn't it?
I'll ask Michaela, because I don't trust you. I'll ask Michaela, if you're watching, can I have one, please? Because Matt will give me for some time next year, but Michaela will give me it next week. Something.
I'll give you a small one. You have to hold it close to the screen or something like that. I won't give you a big one now for that. So
that's what she said.
That's next week.
But yeah, people, if you want anything from Matt, the link is below. So it is all.
I'm going to be doing a Finn back sticker next week or something like that. That's on my list. So Yeah, there's not been at one point there were lots of inspiration, but now it's pretty weak, isn't it? And you've got to think of something nice to put on the stickers. So, but I'll have to come up with something for Finn. I think he deserves it. So,
yeah. But like I said, boys, lads, it's been a pleasure. Thank you very much for coming on. I think I will do. I know we've got 2 weeks off now. I think I'll do another show next week. I think the transfer window closes on Tuesday, so hopefully Forest bring in someone or get released. Someone. I know Harry Hart is leaving. I know Harry Hart is leaving some, I don't know, soon or whatever. But yeah, it's been a pleasure. Glenn, thank you very much. Anthony, thank you very much for waking up at, what time is it now? It's nearly 7 o'clock. Nearly 7 o'clock. But yeah, thank you very much, Anthony. Like the people, Anthony's from Australia. He is from Australia. So it's been a pleasure for coming on. And as well, I'm not going to say you by you to Matt because you're on here every bloody week. So
I'm too cheap. I'm too cheap. These guys are the expensive ones.
Hey, did Martin get married in the end? I didn't. He was engaged last year, wasn't he?
Martin Price.
Or what?
Yeah.
No, he's not. No, he's not married yet. I think it's next year. I think he is. He's getting married next year. I don't know. I'll ask him, but I'm gonna. I think I'll go. But yeah, it's been a pleasure, people. Bless it. If you are new to the channel, please do hit the like button, subscribe if you're new. And Matt, what are you laughing at?
It turned into a soap opera then for a minute. I thought it was like Neighbours he was talking about.
I've never actually watched Neighbours.
Oh, that's what they all say.
Don't watch it.
I've been past in my boat where they film Home and Away. I think they do that on the North Shore.
I actually went to the street. I went to Sydney way back 20 years ago, and I went to the street. So I've got a picture of me outside Jim's house or something. Kylie in the background or something. Is
that Ramsey Street?
I can't even remember. Yeah, Ramsey Street. That's it. They used to do.
I was here 20 years ago. You should have said hi.
Well, there you go. Yeah.
Have you not finished your soap talk? I haven't got.
Now you should have queued up the music. You should have the music. If you're a decent producer, it would now kick in. You know, with the
right, people. I'm off. I'll see you soon. And people,
you should have done that.
Thank you, everyone, coming up the Reds.
All right. Yeah, sure.